everybody, welcome back to my channel, Turnips to Tangerines, and today I am going to be making a recipe that I have never made before. In fact, I've never even had it before. It's a German recipe for Sauerbraten, I think it's pronounced. And I've been wanting to make a few more authentic German style recipes. I am German, from my dad's side, and so I've always been kind of curious, about the different foods, and I have shared quite a few already on my channel here. In fact, my German potato salad recipe is one of my most popular, and thank you all for watching that. I do appreciate that. It's gotten quite a few views, and it's a delicious recipe, so I hope if you stop by and take a look at that, give it a try, because I think you're going to like it. So, but I do appreciate everybody that has stopped in and taken a look at it, and I mean, it is, I would say, my most popular, if not the popular recipes here on Turnips to Tangerines. Anyway, I'm getting way off base here. I am going to try making the Sauerbraten. It is made with chuck roast, and I'll go into more of that when I show all the ingredients and things. This will be sort of like a two-part recipe though, because the beef has got to sit in the marinade for, drum roll, 5 to 7 days. Not hours, not minutes, days. So I'm going to make it today. It's a real rainy, yucky day out here. And next week I'm going to be able to, that's when I'll be able to cook it actually. So it has to sit in the marinade for, like I said, 5 to 7 days. I thought, well, what the heck, I'll go for the 7 days. Why not? And one of the recipes I'm following, I'm actually kind of combining two that I have found. One is from Oma's German Recipes or German Kitchen or something. I'll have the links below. And the other YouTube video that I was looking at was from, I think it's called My German Recipes. But like I said, all the links will be down below. Anyhow, if you'd like to see how we get started on this, or if you want to join me in the kitchen, we'll get started on our German Sauerbraten. First of all, I have a glass bowl here, a big glass bowl that I have lined with an oven bag that you usually, make a turkey in. I had an extra one, probably from last Thanksgiving, because that's about the only time I use an oven bag. And I thought, hey, that's going to work out perfectly. I can just throw the bowl and everything right in my refrigerator and let it hang out in there for 7 days, and we'll be good to go. So that's what I have here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I have about 4 pounds of chuck roast right here that I have trimmed of the fat. I left the bones on. You don't want to use like a real tender cut of meat. You want to use a cut of meat that is going to be able to withstand the 7 days of being, in the marinade. So you do want, the cuts of meat that maybe aren't the most tender, or you wouldn't normally know what to make or what have you. So I'm using chuck roast because I had a chuck roast or an arm roast. I thought, well, I had 2 of each left from last, whoa, I'm caught here. What the heck? Oh boy, there we go. I had 2 arm roasts and I had 2 chuck roasts left. We get our beef from Rossum's in Kaukauna. So there you go. So this is in the bag right here. So this is, I think, going to work out just fine here. And then what we need is, I better stop here real quick. Okay, I'm going to move our ingredients up a little tiny bit here, and I'm just going to quickly go through what we need here. We're going to need some black peppercorns and bay leaf, which is right here, and we're going to need some whole cloves and a big sliced onion, and I just sliced it in, like, you know, half moons, I guess is what I call them. And then we're going to use some red wine vinegar and some red wine. Now, this is the only kind of wine we had here in the house. My husband is a big wine drinker. I no longer drink wine. Let me move this back just a little bit, see if we can see some of the ingredients a little better here. I no longer drink wine. I learned, years ago when I went through menopause, that menopause, wine, and hot flashes don't go together. So I don't drink wine. I haven't in many years. So I don't drink at all in general. So, hey, he had this, and this is what I'm using. It's called Winking Owl. I don't know anything about it. I imagine the better the wine you use, probably the better your marinade will taste, meaning your gravy, because you're going to make a gravy out of some of the marinade also. But that's down the road. So let's just go, you just go with whatever wine you like, whatever wine you have. If you want to, you know, splurge and go out and buy some good, you know, red German wine, go ahead. I have never had this before. I've never made it before. So I didn't want to go too crazy either. So first thing I'm going to do is just salt my meat in here. I'm just going to probably salt it real good on the top. This is not the best salt shaker in the world, but that's okay. And we'll just do this. In fact, let me grab my other salt over here, the one I had here in the first place. And we'll just salt it up a little bit down in there. It's all gonna get good and mixed together anyhow. So like I said, I used a chuck roast. You don't want to use anything real tender. The purpose is to make it rare. And now we're going to add about 10 peppercorns. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, here's 11, 12. I always like to add just a little bit more. I mean, what the heck? You know, here. I have them out now. There we go. And now we're going to add about 6 whole cloves. And this time of year, it shouldn't be too hard to find the whole cloves with baking. And I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I like cloves, so you can use whatever wine you like. And you're going to need 2 cups of that, 2 cups of red wine. I mean, I wouldn't probably use, like, you know, wine in the box or anything like that, but use whatever you can afford, I guess, is a good thing too, you know. And then we'll just dump that on slowly. Like I said, I don't drink wine anymore. I went through an early menopause, which was, I was in my 40s, middle 40s. And one night I drank some wine and didn't know I was going through menopause at the time. And I had hot flashes. And I'm telling you, it was the worst experience ever. So I never drank wine again after that. And it also made me very crabby and angry. So it wasn't good. Well, that's just my personal experience. So there you go. That's a little tidbit. In case you're going through menopause and you're drinking wine, that could be the reason why you might be a little crabby. Well, and you're also going to need 2 cups, which I'm just going to throw the whole bottle in here, of red wine vinegar. Tell you, wow, that really fills up. And this is just your, you can use any red wine vinegar. This is all they had where I went. So this is what I picked up. It was like $3 something a bottle, which I didn't think was too bad. And I did buy 2 because I do like to have it on hand. Add some bay leaves. And I'm going to add, talking about a great big one. How about 3 bay leaves? What do we got here? Yeah, let's just put them in here. I got 4 in all together. I'll use them all. There we go. Why not? We got them there now. And then I'm going to add the onion, just a sliced onion. And put that in there. Ooh. And then I'm just going to cover it. They say to cover it with just a little bit of water. So let's see how this works. The bag seems to be working pretty good so far. There. Okay. It looks big enough. And I will add enough water here just to cover. And that should be good. And, oh gosh. Sauerbraten is German. It's a big thing in Germany. I've read up on it a little bit. Like I said, the 2 sites that I went to get the recipe from that I'm kind of combining here together. It's very popular in Germany. You can find it everywhere. And it used to be made many years ago with like horse meat. Now that isn't something I would, try or recommend or anything like that. I think beef is fine. But it's, what's basically meant to, leave your meat and marinate for the week and even longer, just to tenderize it basically and to give it a nice good flavor. And I'm just going to add enough water here to cover. Maybe a little less. That's 2 cups of water there too. I think that's good. Yeah, because once the juices get in there and everything else. And it's actually, Sauerbraten actually means sour meat. That's, I guess, the term for it. So, there you go. That's basically what it looks like when it's all done and ready now. And we are going to put this in the refrigerator, in the back of my refrigerator. And we are going to forget about it for a while. I'm going to check it, I suppose once in a while during the week, just to make sure that it's not leaking all over the place. I do have it in this bowl just in case, but you never know. My husband might go, what the heck is this? And lift it up and I might have a mess. I don't think he will though. So, but that's it. That's the first portion of making Sauerbraten. And like I said, I've never had it. I will be back here in 7 days, in a week, and we will see how our Sauerbraten is doing. Stop back then. See you soon. See you in a week. Bye now. Yeah, let's move this out of here so maybe you can see just a little bit better. There we go. See you back here. 1 week. We got a date. Okay, it's been approximately 8 days since I started my Sauerbraten. I had put it in this baggie, and there are 2 chuck roasts, and there's onions in here, red wine, vinegar, and some spices. And now today I have to take it out of the bag, which I'm going to cut this open here. And there is the Sauerbraten that's been marinating. And it actually smells not so bad. Yeah. Oh. Wow. Okay. Look at that. I guess you can tell they were kind of not, totally moved around. I had to kind of leave them like that. But hey. It definitely smells good. Okay. As you can see, this is the part that was, it's nice and tender too. This is the part that was sitting on top of the one on the bottom there. And see how dark this has gotten? And this is the part that was leaning on the other piece. But look at that. And it's so tender, it's almost fallen off the bone. And I have another one. I don't know why I'm using my fingers, but that's okay. And I have my other one here, down in the bottom. And that looks good too. And there is that side, and this is the side that was sitting next to this side. So, now I am going to heat a small amount of oil in my big skillet, and I have to brown each one of these on each side, and then I'm going to put it into my crock pot over here with some carrots and some celery, and I'm not sure if I need any more fresh onions. I haven't looked that up yet. And then some of this marinade, because once this has been cooking in the crock pot for probably 3-4 hours on high, I'm going to make a gravy. And in northern Germany, they eat it differently than in southern Germany, and we are going to eat it, I think it's the northern part of Germany that eats it with the sour cream, that the gravy's made with sour cream. I'm not positive on that, but I will have that for certain by the time I get back here. So that's what we're going to do next. We have gotten it, it's been sitting in here for 8 days. It looks good, smells good. It doesn't smell, you know, like you would think it would, like sour or anything. It does have it has actually a sweet sour smell to it, and it smells kind of good, really. I'm kind of anxious to give it a try. It looks very tender, and they say the longer you let it sit in the marinade, the more tender the meat gets, and I can see that for sure. So I am going to bring these to the oven, or bring these over to the stove, and heat up some oil and brown them per side, and then I'm going to stick them in there. So I will be back when that's all done. I have browned my roast on both sides, and then I placed them in my crock pot here, in the liner, and now I'm going to lightly brown the carrots, celery, and some onions in the drippings, and then I'm going to add a cup of beef broth and a cup of strained marinade, and then I'm going to pour that on top of this along with the carrots and the celery and onion. So I'm going to go do that next. Broth, 1 cup of the marinade that I brought to a simmer. The carrots are in there, celery are in there, and now I'm going to put it on high for 3 to 4 hours, and then we'll be back and we're going to serve it with some mashed potatoes. See you then. So